All right, so it is the end of the year for lawn care. It has been a great year, but it is time to talk about putting this baby to bed, winterizing as some people call it. We're gonna talk about grass, we're gonna talk about our equipment. Let's get to it. All right, so that is it. That is how you winterize your equipment. Just kidding, but that is one of the advantages of having battery powered, is that you can just pop the battery out and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about stabilizer or a gas engine or anything like that. But I'm kind of OCD about my equipment, so I still take a few extra steps to make sure my equipment is ready for the following spring. All right, so here we are. It is a week after our final mow. We already did that. I cut it. I know a lot of you are gonna ask, I cut it a little bit shorter than I typically do. On my front yard, I typically mow 2 1/4. I actually kept it at that, but the backyard, I was mowing at 2 to 2 1/4 on the Blue Heat, and I mowed that down to 1 3/4 just to kind of give it a little less height so that it's not getting trampled if we go back there in the winter time or anything like that. But I am typically doing this right here, winterizing my lawn, winterizing my equipment, about a week after our final mow. And I know there's our final mow because, well, one, the temperatures are so low, it is so cold, and it is just not growing. It has not grown at all since I cut, and even on that last cut, I barely cut anything off at all. So for the sake of keeping this video short and sweet and to the point, not dragging it on and on, I'm going to hit the high points of what I think you absolutely need to do to winterize your equipment, and then I'm going to show you what I do because I like my mower to essentially be like a brand new mower when it comes to springtime. It keeps it running in tip-top shape, keeps it looking good, but honestly, I have seen and heard of people that just put their equipment away. They don't do anything, and it fires up in the springtime. Now, I will say I don't think that is good on the equipment. I don't think that it will last as long term, but you know, if that's what you want to do. There are, however, 3 main things that I think that you should absolutely do when it comes to winterizing your equipment and putting it away for the winter if you're not going to get it back out until springtime. First of which, change the oil. Once you've got the oil drained out, all I'm using is this Briggs & Stratton 4-cycle small engine oil, and I'm just going to pour this entire bottle into this machine right here. So the next step that I think that you really need to do is check both the spark plug here as well as the air filter. And as you can see, this air filter is squeaky clean. That is like clean enough to eat off of. That's what you want to see right there. As far as the spark plug goes, you're going to need a special socket to get that off. I have one, but I'm not even going to take mine off because this mower has only been through like 4 or 5 mows, and so I have no reason to even think that it would ever need replaced right now. We are going to last but not least, probably the most important step is we are going to treat the fuel lines and the engine here. We're going to do that by using a fuel stabilizer. This is Sta-Bil Storage. This is 1 ounce, treats 2.5 gallons, and so I do this by mixing up. This is a 2.5 gallon gas can, and so I had already mixed up here. I already winterized some of my equipment, and so I put 1 ounce in a full tank of gas here, mixed it up, and then I'm just going to fill this all the way up and going to run the engine for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's going to treat the entire fuel line. once you get all those necessary steps done, I like to kind of detail my lawnmower, clean it up. So basically I'll turn it on its side. Always make sure you turn it so the air filter is up. That is very important. Remember that, air filter always up when you turn it on its side. But I'll turn it on its side, scrape the underside of the deck, get all that junk out of there, sharpen the blade while I'm at it, and then I'll wash it with a hose. Try to get it as cleaned up as possible. This one right here, like I said, this is a fairly new mower, so there's not much buildup under there, so I'm not too worried about it, but it's got a little bit of dust on here, and so I'm gonna take something like a multi-purpose cleaner. I'm gonna spray it on here, wipe it off with a microfiber towel. All right, so once you have that whole process done, I'm going to repeat that for all my other gas engines. So I've got a couple other mowers I'm gonna do that for. Time for some fertilizer. Last fertilizer of the year. A lot of people call this a winterizer. Basically, you wanna get this down between the time where you do last mow and when the ground freezes. And so for me, I mowed a week ago. I said I usually do this the week leading up to Thanksgiving. This year's no different. And so I want something that's got some quick release nitrogen in it. Really, I'm gonna suggest to use what you have. If you have something, you could use Carbon X here. If you have like a 1010 or 1212, that would be fine. You could go to the store and find what's on sale. I've used the Scott's Winterizer before with great results. Me, I've got this 1608. I used this in a video recently. It's got humic acid in it as well. Humic acid helps, release the nutrients in the soil, helps your soil more easily utilize what's in this bag right here, your fertilizer that you're putting down. And so 1608 with humic DG, putting down the whole bag, it's gonna give us around 0.4 pounds of nitrogen on my 6,300 square feet. If you put it down for the bag rate, 5,000 square feet, it's gonna give you 0.58. Again, this is a greens grade fertilizer. Looks so cool, looks like colored sand. Very cool. So that is winterizing lawn equipment. Whew. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks fantastic. But that is it. That is winterizing. That is going to be probably the last, it's definitely the last application of the year, last mow of the year. I will have more content on grass probably this winter. I've got some things in mind, but I've also got some things in this garage that I'm going to be doing as well. So I'm not going anywhere. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you guys.